So do you register something?
There's nobody here. No, but
So
there's
no
really nobody here.
So
there's nobody there either.
No.
Yeah.
But you don't. There is no registration of something.
It's not about what happened. It's that what's happening, first off, is all there is. It's what arises. It's wholeness arising. And it's not happening for anyone.
So that judgment, the judgment of beautiful or not beautiful doesn't happen.
Beauty isn't a judgment. Beauty is a response. It's not a judgment. It's not...
Does that response happen?
Yeah. Totally more fully. Because as I described before, when there's a me, as soon as beauty or love or anything else arises, it wants that. It clamps onto it.
It's almost
and there's almost a subtle recognition that the beauty or the love that arises isn't the fullness of what's there. There's some barrier to it. And that barrier is wanting to know it or own it. There's nobody doing that.
It almost feels like it's a sort of siren, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I feel I get caught.
Yeah.
Because the visual's very important for me.
Yeah. But it's not the visual thing. What happens with me when there's a knower that arises, the mystery that this isn't lost. It just seems hidden. Seems like it's beyond. It's all beyond. And so there's an effort to go beyond, to find what seems to be now hidden or lost. It's not. It's not. This is beauty. Unconditional love.
Yeah, but it feels like when something registers here as beautiful or not beautiful.
You don't like what I'm saying, do you? Sorry. The differentiation is completely irrelevant. That's only an effort only an effort to overcome the experience that beauty is somehow lost.
No, I think I'm just talking about it because I realise I get caught there, and I do. It feels
you
like...
don't get caught. There isn't anybody in there. We're not moving towards beauty.
No, I know that.
The experience that it's separate or that you're caught is beauty appearing as that. There's no way around it. There's no way to get closer. It has nothing to do with any free will or choice that creates a separation. It's an experience that arises out of a contracted energy in the body that says it knows what's happening. Nobody does that. So being able to differentiate or recognize or any of those things has no relevance. All of that assumes there's a real separation and there's some way to overcome it and there's something that could happen to bring about what's longed for. This is already what's longed for.
Yeah, but I think I understand. I recognise when you say. I feel like sometimes there's an openness, and then I grab onto it.
Yeah.
I know that.
You don't do that. That's just what happens. You don't do anything. There isn't anybody in there. There's a completely impersonal contraction out of which arises a knowing, a knower, an owner, a seeker, that assumes a personal experience. It's not.
But that knower feels very strong in that moment. That's where I feel it the strongest.
There's not a you and the knower. I understand it. I'm not.
No,
but the I, that knower, is convinced it's going to work it out. That it's going to be some part of its own solution. And the only currency that it has is knowing. And so it thinks through knowing, practice, trying, it's going to somehow solve.
But I suppose what happens is the knowing happens.
Apparently. Only apparently.
That's what.
Absolutely.
That's what's found.
Yeah. And then they're trying to differentiate. And they're trying to figure out, how do I get beyond this? Because this is uncomfortable. Something feels like it's missing. And then there's a response. There's just what's happening. the whole thing is valueless.
It's like the search for love covers up love.
Jim, you speak of impersonal contraction.
Yeah, that's it.
So is that in some way then taking ownership of everything?
Yeah, well, the contraction, out of that arises an experience of knowing. You can call that different things. You can say it's the experience of things being real. It's the experience of the position. It's the experience of things being solid. It's the experience of things being substantial, or the experience of things having meaning and purpose. All that's sort of the same thing. And all of that happens completely impersonally.
But in a way that's what we call a me.
The contracted energy of know. Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the knower. Yeah.
I always get caught there because it's not real.
No, nothing is.
So it just takes the form of an apparent contraction.
Yeah, absolutely. There's an apparent contraction having the illusory experience that what appears can be known.